You are enough. You are enough. We are all enough as we are. We don't need fixing. We might need a bit of help, but we don't need to be throwing help at us. I think we all need to just be told that we're doing a good job, that we're doing okay, that we don't need to try any harder or do things majorly differently. We don't need to constantly try and improve ourselves. I think we naturally all do that anyway to some extent. Maybe it's just a generation of people who are on YouTube, are on self-help books. For me anyway, what contributes greatly to my anxiety is feeling like I constantly need to be doing things differently, or just at least a slight bit differently. Like if I could just grasp this one idea, like if I could just clear my thoughts a bit less, or just be a bit more authentic, or just blah 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 blah. And I think in our society where we have so much information out there telling us how we can be doing things, the amount of how-to videos and blogs and books out there makes us feel like all the time that we should be able to do things because the information on how to do them is out there. Someone probably potentially has gone before and done those things. Therefore, why can't we? Why can't I do that too? And I think then I start to spiral because things take me longer than I expect them to, or things don't always go to plan. But just because the information on how to do something is out there doesn't necessarily mean that we'll get it right straight away, or that we won't fail or change directions. I mean, I'm talking very broadly here. There are lots of different examples and types of things that this could be applied to. I think it became a trend a while ago, I can't remember, to stop reading self-help books. I remember seeing people on social media saying things like, I became a lot happier once I started reading fiction again over reading self-help books. At the time, I don't read self-help books because I find them, again, more stressful. And this point, it's just more elaborated from that, is that not only are there specific books, but the whole world around us is constantly telling us that we can be doing better physically, emotionally, mentally, with money, with health. And it's really stressful. Just because the information is out there on how to improve your health or whatever doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get the results that people are talking about. And then that can be really demoralizing, especially when, the way that things are advertised makes it seem like you can have all these things immediately and be making linear progress, and so many obstacles get in the way in real life that no one talks about what people do. But that's not going to sell a product, that's not going to sell a video, that's not going to sell an idea, a concept, anything. The whole idea of marketing is to be able to get things that you want through buying something or through trying something, or just watch this video and you'll be able to do this, or buy this product, take this supplement, do this gym. And the reality of everything is that change is really slow and there can be lots of setbacks and bumpy walls and stuff. And so I think that myself, but also other people as well, maybe would be very benefited by just someone saying to them, you're doing okay. Even if you feel like you've gone backwards, whatever goals you're trying to reach, whether that be mental health, financially, business-wise, it's okay. You're doing okay. You're doing okay. And you're making progress, but you can't see it. And you don't have to listen to all the advice and watch all the videos and digest more information. You can just live your life. You don't need to always see how other people are doing things. I mean, that's the other thing about social media, is that we're constantly watching other people living their lives. And in some ways, this can be really beneficial, but also it can be really triggering in a way when we start to live our own lives, wondering if it lives up to the kind of lives that other people are leading, especially when not everyone is honest and people cut out all the boring and everyday parts, like scrolling on social media perhaps. Obviously, this is all very Western viewpoint of everyday life and struggles. And that's the experience that I have, so I can only speak from my own experience. I've just noticed that when I cut out the noise of what's going on around me, like I've recently tried to cut back on my TikTok and like Instagram reel consumption. So there's like less noise coming at me, but then more noise in my head. And the noise that I can hear in my head is like, how can I be doing this better? How should I be doing this? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, whoa, 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 like, chill. It's okay to be where I am and like to witness where that is. And I don't always have to be thinking about the things that can be better, even if it's just for me as small as like noticing that I'm overthinking about things, or noticing that I haven't quite found the answer that I'm looking for a certain query, and then thinking like, oh, this, I don't really know how to explain it in words. I was traveling today on the coach to visit my family, and I was looking to the answer for a question that I wasn't quite sure what question I was asking. How could I be doing things better right now? I don't know. I think my brain is wired to always be looking for ways to do things better, which in some ways is very helpful. And I'm always driven to be trying new things, but it comes to a point where that's kind of overwhelming. So I think it should be a bit more of a balance, but I find it extremely difficult to just think to myself, I'm doing okay, and I don't need to change anything right now. But I just noticed when scrolling on YouTube, like explicitly how many videos are how-to videos, and mainly how to improve, how to think differently. I think that's kind of what I'm getting at also, is it's not just about like how to build a car, how to pack a suitcase, which are actually like physical things that people might not be able to do, but when it comes to mental things as well, you have to be so patient and careful with yourself to not get overwhelmed. I don't know what tangent I've gone off on now, but what I'm thinking is that some goals are very easy to track and some goals are not. And with something like physical health, like say you're overweight and you want to lose weight, you know that you can't wake up tomorrow and be the weight that you want to be. Or say you've broken a bone, you know that you can't heal that bone in one day. And with mental health, it can sometimes feel like, because it's so intangible, that you could just kind of fix everything now. I don't know how to put my thoughts into words. I'm going to try and wrap back round to the beginning where I started, which is we don't need, okay, I'm going to say for me, I don't need more advice, I think. I just need to be kind to myself and allow myself to be where I am. And I want to say learn things for myself. I think it's also generational. I think perhaps young people these days are extremely driven people and want to see results very quickly, whereas older generations are much more okay with things as they are. Maybe that's just like the perspective that I can see things from. But it's okay to be where you are. It's okay to be where you are, and it's okay to be honest with yourself about where you are. I mean, honesty is a whole other conversation. Honesty with yourself. It's extremely difficult, but extremely empowering. It's okay to be where you are. You are enough. You are enough. We are all enough as we are. We don't need fixing. We might need a bit of help, but we don't need to be throwing help at us. That was one more thing I think I wanted to add, is that, I mean, online things are different because it's not like a one-on-one relationship, but when you're having a conversation with someone and they tell you a struggle that they're having, you wouldn't immediately go like, well, here is how to fix that, here is what I think you should do, here is how to do it, here is how to fix that. You would try and be sympathetic or empathetic towards them and help them accept the position that they find themselves in and validate how they're feeling. So I think that we should translate that into online more, so that people just feel validated for where they are, rather than always trying to move on to the next thing and overcome things. Because overcoming things is great, but you can't make progress without first accepting how you're feeling, where you are, and that is okay, and that you are enough. Okay, I think I've gone on for long enough. You're doing great. I love you. Oh, what is that? Oh, apple. What other things can we do? Let's celebrate. No, you're doing bad. No, didn't like that either. See, only likes it if you say you're doing good. Good job. Okay.